Medovsky had left the cabinet open. On the shelf inside was a business card and a scribbled note. Everything was in Cyrillic except for a number. 1869. I should have guessed. Keyboard was Cyrillic. A secret drawer popped open. I knew that publication date would be significant. At last, I was going to discover Medovsky's secrets. It certainly wasn't Medovsky's sock drawer. Hey, Nico! Come see this! I think we've struck gold.
Hang on, I'm coming.
Look, a letter from a guy called Gainan. His company, Wolfram, want to purchase La Maledizio. They're offering way over the asking price.
Anything connecting Medovsky to Vera?
Well, let's see. Here we go. A lease for Vera's security.
Aha! Then we have the proof we need.
Hang on, what's this? Expenses for a Mr. Shears. Waterloo Motors, 1 helmet. These are from Paris. Madame La Trex. Hotel Britannique. Pizza. Nico. Pizza. I think your friend Shears might just be Henri's killer.
George, what have we got ourselves into? I just heard the front door close. Medovsky's coming. Put everything back in order, quick!
Right. He'll never suspect we just ransacked his house for evidence.
George, the coin!
Damn, no time. Look cool, Nico. I'll handle this.
I apologize for the lengthy wait. As you can imagine, my time is at a premium.
That's fine, Mr. Medovsky. I think we're almost finished anyway.
And payment?
Very soon, monsieur. Very soon.
Is there anything else I can assist you with?
Is that a first edition of War and Peace?
Of course. Printed in 1869. A great year for my country's literature. And Tolstoy is the master.
Is that a picture of you with Colonel Gaddafi?
A deeply wonderful man. He was a great fan of the Impressionists.
Well, he certainly left quite an impression on Libya. So this Hobbs guy, good friend of yours, is he?
No, we simply have a business arrangement. We've been through this already.
You must be upset at the theft of La Malediccio.
Yes, and disappointed that someone would kill for such a minor piece.
So, what brought you into the art business, Mr. Medovsky?
Oh, an eye for great artists, an appreciation of fine culture, and a love of what you Americans call the greenback.
Nice collection of medals you have there, Mr. Medovsky.
I earned them serving my country.
Anywhere interesting?
Chechnya. Ever been there?
No, can't say I've had the pleasure.
Now please, if you're quite finished, I'm a busy man.
Thank you for your time, Monsieur Medovsky. We'll be in touch soon.
Well, no prizes for guessing where we go now.
Hobbs' place, right?
Got it in one. Medovsky's pretty shady, don't you think?
He bought our act, though. You make a pretty good insurance man, George.
Yeah, would have thought it.
By the time he realizes we're not assessing his claim, we'll have cracked the case and be toasting our success.
Here's hoping. Looks like rain.
Come on, let's get that cab. Taxi!
I think we just stepped off the London tourist trail.
I guess this Hobbs character doesn't like visitors.
Not the kind of place you'd expect to find a restorer of old masters.
Unless you didn't want to attract attention.
He's attracted ours. Let's see what Mr. Hobbs knows about La Malediccio.
And let's try and get a look inside that portfolio.
Piles of junk, mostly boxes of old paints and scraps of picture frames. Mixed in were wires, cardboard, and some dubious-looking old clothes. George Stobbart.
Ah, Monsieur Stobbart. I trust you have obeyed my instructions not to leave Paris.
Of course, Inspector.
Good. You clearly know which side your cookie is buttered. Now, I require your presence tomorrow at the murder scene for a reconstruction.
I see.
12 o'clock sharp, monsieur. Or, as you would say, high noon.
Sure.
Any failure to comply, and I shall have you extraordinarily rendered. Have a nice day now.
And you. That was Nave. We're required back at the gallery tomorrow for a crime scene reconstruction.
Let me guess. Non-attendance is a criminal offense?
You got it. The large dumpster was full of garbage. The van was held together with rust and dirt. It was the van hood. It had certainly seen a few bumps. The hood was definitely stuck. Like the rest of the van, the ignition was covered with rust and dirt. I'd need the keys to start the engine. I had no reason nor any desire to steal Hobbs's van. It was the lever to open the hood. I popped open the van's hood. The handbrake looked ineffective, like all the other safety features. I decided to leave the handbrake alone. It was a half-empty bottle of whiskey, or half full, depending on your attitude to life. Slasha. It was the horn. Not a sound. The horn wasn't working. The engine was held together by rust and dirt. Everything was covered in a sticky film of dirty black oil. Half the wiring wasn't connected to anything. It was clear why the horn hadn't made a noise. Neither hornpipe was connected to either the battery or the cab. A bundle of wires came into the engine bay from the dashboard. Many of the wires seemed to lead nowhere. It was one of two horns in the van. It didn't seem to be connected to anything else under the hood. Two wires hung loose from it. It was the van's engine. I didn't really have any reason to sabotage it. A bundle of short, severed wires was connected to the battery. None of the wires were connected to anything. It was one of two horns in the van. It didn't seem to be connected to anything else under the hood. Two wires hung loose from it. A loose wire hung from the horn. If I had some spare cable, I could connect it to the other horn. It was the van battery. I needed to hook this up to the horn somehow. I needed a better idea. The drain pipe was more rust than iron. Climbing drain pipes was something I preferred to avoid, unless I had a great reason to do so. The mailbox read, W. Hobbs, Fine Art Restoration. There was a piece of paper sticking out of the mail slot. For a second, I debated the morality of mail snooping. It was a short debate, and I won. I decided to open the letter. Dear Mr. Hobbs, due to previous incidents, we are writing to inform you that we will no longer be sending models to your address. We are writing to inform you that we will no longer be sending models to your address. It went on to discuss Hobbs's temper and other alleged infractions, some of which still carry the death sentence in certain less sophisticated cultures. Interesting. I don't think there's anyone home.
There's a light on upstairs.
There was definitely someone home. I wouldn't have been able to break the chain, or the padlock. The chain was wrapped around the gate and secured with a tough-looking padlock. The van's window looked like it hadn't been washed for years. The door was locked. Looking through the window, I could see that there was nothing in the van. Hobbs must have taken the portfolio inside. I had found just what I needed. 2 lengths of wire. The engine bay was a mess. It was the old piece of wire that I'd found in the junk pile. A paperclip from the... I used the wire to join the battery to the horn. I connected the wires from the cab to the horn. That would be pointless. I used the wire to join the battery to the horn. The horn wasn't working. The wire just reached across. It'd be crazy to cut it now. There was too much wire. That was the long and short of it. I connected the wires from the cab to the horn. The wire was just long enough to connect the battery to the horn. Everything was wired up. The horn had power. I figured that should get Hobbs' attention.
All right, hold your blooming horses. What are you up to with my van?
Hello there. We fixed your horn.
So I hear. Now what are you doing in my yard?
Mr. Hobbs, do you mind if we ask you a few questions?
Yes.
Yes, you will answer a few questions?
Yes, I do mind. Clear?
Not really.
Good. Now get lost.
Well, that could have gone better.
He's not exactly the friendliest of characters.